Have you ever wondered why you cry more easily than other people? A slightly cold remark, a touching movie, or even a sad song can be enough to make your eyes well up. Meanwhile, the people around you seem perfectly calm, as if nothing happened. And then the familiar line appears. Why are you so sensitive? It's not even a big deal. Be stronger. You hear it so often that over time, you may start to believe something is wrong with you, that maybe you are weaker than others, that perhaps your heart is too fragile to live in this world. But pause for a moment. The problem may not be that you are weak. It may simply be that you experience the world differently. In psychology, there is an interesting idea. Not all brains process emotions in the same way. Some people are born with more sensitive nervous systems. That means they do not just see events happening. They sense the atmosphere, the tone of voice, the silence between words. In simple terms, they do not just hear what someone says, they also hear the emotion behind it. So, when you cry, it is not always a sign of weakness. It may simply be how your nervous system responds to the world. You feel more, you notice more, and sometimes you carry more emotional weight than the people around you. But here is the interesting part. People who cry easily often carry a special ability that society rarely talks about, an ability that can become one of their greatest strengths. In this video, we will explore 5 psychological truths about people who cry easily. Some of them may surprise you. Some may help you understand yourself for the first time. And the final truth may completely change the way you think about your emotions. So if you have ever been called too sensitive, stay until the end of the video. Because there's something about people who cry easily that most people completely misunderstand. And once you understand it, you may never see your tears the same way again. If you're someone who cries easily, you have probably experienced a familiar moment. A touching movie, a harsh comment, or simply a day that feels too heavy. Then your eyes begin to turn red. Not because you want attention. Not because you are weak. It just happens. And often, the worst part is not the tears themselves. It is the look from other people. The kind of rock that silently asks why you would react like that when nothing serious even happened. But here is the first thing very few people ever tell you. People who cry easily do not have weaker hearts. They simply have more sensitive nervous systems. In psychology, some people are born with a stronger ability to process emotional signals. Their brains react faster to emotional cues from the environment. This means they do not only see what happens, they feel the entire atmosphere surrounding the moment. A sentence that sounds ordinary to others may carry tone, hesitation, and hidden emotion to someone more sensitive. It is similar to listening to music through 2 different devices. Some people hear music through a normal speaker. You, however, might be wearing high-resolution headphones. Every sound is clearer. Every detail is louder. And sometimes that can become overwhelming. So when tears appear, it is not weakness. It is simply your nervous system responding to a higher volume of emotional input. The second truth is even more interesting. Crying is actually a release mechanism for the brain. When humans cry, the body releases stress hormones. This reduces pressure in the nervous system. In other words, tears work like an emotional valve. Some people hold everything inside. They try to appear strong while pressure builds within them. People who cry easily often do the opposite. Emotions move through them faster. They may feel sadness more intensely in the moment, but after crying, they often feel lighter. If you have ever cried and then sighed with relief, feeling calmer afterward, that is not imagination. That is biology working. Your body is regulating emotions in the most natural way possible. The third truth is that people who cry easily often have high empathy. They do not only feel their own emotions, they feel the emotions of others as well. You may recognize this. You watch a movie and cry for a character, even though you know it is just a story. You listen to someone talk about their pain and feel your throat tighten. You see an abandoned animal and your mood becomes heavy for the rest of the day. This is not weakness. It is a sign of a powerful empathy system. Your brain is designed to recognize the emotional states of others and respond to them. This can make you a great friend, a compassionate listener, and sometimes the only person in a room who notices when someone is silently suffering. However, this ability also has a shadow side. When you absorb too much of other people's emotions, you may begin carrying them with you. You become the one who listens, the one who supports, the one who tries to heal everyone. And before you realize it, you are holding feelings that were never yours to begin with. The fourth truth may be a little uncomfortable. Society often misunderstands people who cry easily. We live in a culture that praises emotional distance. Strength is often imagined as someone who is unaffected by feelings, someone who controls everything, someone who never cries. But what many people fail to see is that not crying is not always a sign of strength. Sometimes it simply means a person has learned to shut down their emotions. And when someone shuts down emotions for too long, they do not only block sadness, they also block joy, connection, and empathy. People who cry easily tend to live with open hearts. They feel joy more deeply. They are moved by small moments. A beautiful song, a kind gesture, a quiet moment of life can touch them in ways others may miss. And this leads to the fifth truth. The ability to feel deeply can become your greatest strength. Many artists, writers, creators, and people who work closely with human emotions share this trait. They perceive emotional layers others overlook. They understand pain, joy, and meaning more deeply. But to transform sensitivity into strength, you must learn one essential skill: boundaries. Not every emotion needs to enter your heart. Not every problem is your responsibility. And not everyone deserves your deep empathy. A sensitive heart is like a door that is always open. That openness is beautiful. But if you never learn to close that door when necessary, the entire world will walk in and drain your energy. So if you are someone who cries easily, remember this: your tears are not signs of weakness. They are signs of a nervous system that experiences life more deeply. But to live well with that gift, you must learn to protect it. In the next part, we will talk about something even more important: why sensitive people often become targets for manipulative individuals, and how you can protect your heart without losing your kindness. If you have ever felt too sensitive for this world, keep watching, because the final truth may completely change the way you see yourself. There is something people who cry easily hear throughout their lives. Asterisk, asterisk, be stronger. Stop crying. You are not a child anymore. Asterisk, asterisk. Hearing this so often can slowly make you believe that something is wrong with you, that your heart is somehow weaker than everyone else's. But if you look more closely, the story may actually be the opposite. Crying is not a sign of weakness. Asterisk, asterisk. Crying is a sign that you can still feel. Asterisk, asterisk. In a world where many people have learned to shut down their emotions just to make life easier, the ability to still be moved by pain, kindness, or the small moments of life is actually rare. People often confuse coldness with strength, but sometimes coldness is simply a heart that has grown too tired to keep feeling. If you are someone who cries easily, you may not be as weak as you think. You may simply be someone who has not lost the ability to experience the world deeply. But there is something important you must learn. You need to protect that heart. Not everyone deserves your empathy. Not every story needs to follow you home and stay in your mind all night. So, the next time tears appear, do not rush to feel ashamed. Remember that it is simply your body saying that you are still alive, still feeling, still human. But remember something else too. A sensitive heart is a gift, and every gift needs protection. If you see yourself in this story, continue watching the next video. Because the most dangerous thing for people who cry easily is not their emotions, but the people who know how to take advantage of them.